Now to a major development in the search for 4-year-old Gus Lamont, with police discovering mine shafts near his outback home.
Gertie, they'll return to Yunta tomorrow.
Well, Star Group and Horizon Task Force officers will be on the ground tomorrow morning, focusing on 6 mine shafts on the outback property.
Police have again returned to the Outback Sheep Station, where little Gus Lamont disappeared close to 2 months ago.
This search will take 3 days in this particular part of the area. Where do they go next?
I think they would look back at all the information they've got and explore all opportunities, but the fact that they're searching so far away from where Gus first disappeared suggests to me they're looking at possible intervention.
Yeah.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear thoughts build up until I can't feel. My mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Well, the 6 shafts are scattered at different distances around the Oak Park Station property.
The closest is 5.5 k's away from Gus Lamont's family homestead, where he was last seen playing on September 27. That's the radius that has been scoured on foot. The furthest is 12 k's, an area already searched from the sky.
Well, news just in, the South Australia Police have concluded their 4th search and pulled out of the area at least 1 day earlier than expected. According to an official police statement, the searching has involved the inspection of 6 mine shafts and several locations identified following analysis of aerial mapping and imaging conducted following recent ground searches. And this may answer the question, remember we asked it in the previous video, how did the police know about these mine shafts? Well, they seem to have learned about them from aerial mapping, not from any disclosures, not from someone approaching them and saying, well, you know what, there's a hole over there, maybe you should check it out. So I guess it is possible the owners of the property didn't know about these shafts. What do you guys think about that? The inspection of the mine shafts located between 5.5 and 12 kilometers from the Oak Park homestead did not locate any evidence to assist in the investigation into Gus's disappearance. Well, no surprises there, but it is a little surprising to learn this from the latest police statement. The family of Gus have been advised of the results of the renewed searching and are being supported by a victim contact officer. Now, it's not clear whether that officer is in touch with them on the property, whether he's there perhaps to help provide security for roaming Daily Mail reporters, or whether that support is virtual or by phone. Now, according to that same police statement, several of the shafts were relatively shallow, and these could be visually inspected, I guess, quite quickly, but the remainder were up to 20 meters deep, and specialized equipment was required to complete those searches. The authorities also provided this video showing the search of one of those shafts. Not terribly high quality material, but it does give you an idea of what they were dealing with. According to the Daily Mail, it's been reported that Jessica was with Josie looking for lost sheep about 10 kilometers from the homestead when Gus disappeared. Now, I must say that is something that I didn't know. I didn't know they were looking for lost sheep. I thought that they were just taking care of the sheep. And I think that changes things a little bit if you have this idea that they are somewhere else. That's basically their alibi, that they are somewhere else looking for lost sheep when Jesse's son becomes effectively a lost sheep. And psychologically it makes sense to sort of say, well, if a sheep went missing and then when you came back our little boy was missing, well, it's the same thing that happened. The sheep wandered off, our little boy wandered off. So one can see how that can be intuitively accurate. The question is it accurate from an evidence perspective, from a factual perspective? A close friend of Shannon suggested Gus could have simply wandered off to look for his mother, and I think that does kind of make sense. Maybe he was missing her. Maybe he wanted to be part of the action. It's very easy to get lost on a station that size, said the friend. Shannon grew up out there and she almost got lost a few years ago. Her and Josie were out on motorbikes sorting out the sheep one afternoon, and they got separated for a while. She had to turn off her bike and listen out for Josie's motorcycle to find her way back. Interestingly, this photo was recently posted on 7 News, which indicates there is at least one roadside camera on the way to Oak Park Road. One assumes the camera was in place when Gus disappeared and has also been checked for activity on that day.
Officers are expected to spend the next 3 days searching the area. In the 2 months since Gus disappeared, there have been several searches for the missing 4-year-old, with police bringing in members of the ADF, SES volunteers, trackers, and local property owners.
To reiterate, we know that this search has ended prematurely. It's not clear whether the authorities will search next or even if there will be a 5th search. At the rate they are going, they seem to be searching further and further away from the homestead, which in my opinion suggests unlikelier and unlikelier chances of success.
There has not been any evidence of foul play, and police say that Lamont family have continued to cooperate fully with the investigation. Gus's family released a statement through police on September 30th, expressing their devastation at the little boy's disappearance. We are devastated by the disappearance of our beloved Gus on Saturday afternoon.
Although Gus disappeared on Saturday, I'm not sure if it's fair to say it was Saturday afternoon. It was late afternoon, early evening. Sunset on the 27th of September was 15 minutes past 6, which is basically an hour, maybe 45 minutes after Gus apparently disappeared. And so they probably would have searched for him in the 3 hours that they said they searched for him in the dark, in the gloom. The fact that the story goes that Gus disappeared just before the sun went down suggests that he really wouldn't have been able to get far because he couldn't really see where he was going. And it would make sense if he did get some distance away that he would see nothing in front of him, look around and see the lights of the homestead twinkling in the dark and turn around and go back to them. I don't think he would have gotten lost in that sense. He would be able to see those lights. Regarding this contention that there's no evidence of foul play, I think what we are seeing as well is the absence of evidence. And when you have the complete absence of evidence, the question is whether that is suspicious. Has the evidence been removed? Has the evidence been covered up? Or is this just a natural situation? And I think the fact that scent dogs couldn't pick up any scent, that there are no tracks, makes all of this very mysterious. It also seems unlikely that someone came there in some kind of vehicle without being heard or without being seen. Well, I'm not going to take it further than that. I do want to suggest if you are following the Anna Kepner case, I'll be putting up a video about that in a couple of hours. And in terms of the Peripheral Figures series on the JonBenet Ramsey case, look out for the next episode on the Ramsey lawyer, Mike Bynum. And then just a final note, tomorrow, November 27th, will be the 2-month anniversary since the little boy, Gus Lamont, disappeared. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.